In 1975, Ronnie was working a security detail for a warehouse in Connecticut. During his shift, he walked the building, the parking lot, and the fence around the property. During one of his rounds, he felt a pinch on his ankle. He was breaking in a new pair of boots, and he knew he'd spend the next few nights nursing sore feet. When he got home, the first thing he did was strip off those damn boots, and sure enough, he had a small red welt on his ankle. When he woke up the next morning, the small red welt had ballooned into a painful blister shaped like a bullseye. When he rubbed it, he felt a bump. He looked more closely. The bump was a bug, and it was alive. Ronnie grabbed a pair of tweezers, and when he pulled the bug out, it broke apart. A few days later, his joints started to ache and he felt sick. He thought he had caught the flu, but it wasn't the flu. In 1975, the small town of Old Lyme, Connecticut experienced an outbreak of a devastating new disease. Some people got rashes, some ran high fevers, others had painful swollen joints. Some people had all these symptoms, as well as headaches, dizziness, and shortness of breath. In severe cases, people were becoming delusional, experiencing psychosis, and becoming paralyzed. At first, doctors misdiagnosed the condition as a type of arthritis. They named it Lyme arthritis after the town that had the first outbreak. 2 years later, scientists finally connected Lyme arthritis to the bite of a deer tick. A type of single-cell bacteria called Borrelia was to blame for what's now known as Lyme disease. As the reports of symptoms came in, these cases were placed on a map. A disturbing picture started to appear. Ground zero was Plum Island. This was another disease spread by ticks. This also has Eric Traub's fingerprints all over it. But was the outbreak an accident? Or is the government conducting a test on the population without their knowledge? If it was a test, it wouldn't be the first time. In the 1930s, the Tuskegee experiment infected 400 men with syphilis to see how the disease affected black males. They were denied treatment. The U.S. government has infected prisoners with cow blood and exposed people to plutonium.
It really was the Kmart of human experimentation from 1951 to 1974.
Operation Sea Spray was a secret test in 1950 where the government dropped bacteria on the entire city of San Francisco. In 1966, the Army released bacteria into the New York subway to simulate a biological attack.
Hey, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere?
Project 112 and Project Shad infected thousands of military personnel with biological agents like BZ and nerve toxins like sarin gas.
The tests themselves were a lot of smoke. The planes would let out like a smoke or gas type of thing, and it would also cover the ship.
The crew was given gas masks and told not to worry.
They were exposed to toxic nerve gas at least 46 times. Nobody knows how many people were killed. The records are still mostly classified. And there are more, lots more. Tests without consent have been conducted as recently as the 1990s, many involving children. And that's just what's been exposed. Who knows how many more tests are still classified or if tests are still taking place.
We do know that some civilians were exposed in tests that occurred in Hawaii, possibly in Alaska, and possibly in Florida.
The military and intelligence community, of course, continue to deny any wrongdoing. They deny that bioweapon research was done at Plum Island. And they deny that Lyme disease was artificially created and released to the public. But denial is not good enough. We know the CIA and military violate orders time and time again, and we know they lie when they do it. So in 2019, Congressman Christopher Smith from New Jersey proposed an amendment to the 2020 defense bill.
For years, Mr. Speaker, books and articles have been written credibly asserting that significant research at Fort Detrick and Plum Island and elsewhere was conducted to turn ticks into bioweapons. Mr. Speaker, with Lyme disease and other tick-borne diseases exploding in the United States, an estimated 300,000 to 427,000 cases, new cases each year, and 10 to 20% of those people with chronic Lyme, Americans have a right to know whether or not any of this is true.
But what prompted this? Well, the bacteria that causes Lyme disease is called Borrelia burgdorferi, after Willy Burgdorfer, who discovered it. Now, Burgdorfer was widely known as a leading researcher in the scientific study of insects, and his discovery of Lyme disease was historic. But what's not widely known about Burgdorfer is that early in his career, he developed biological weapons for the U.S. military. Specifically, he weaponized ticks. And between 1966 and 1969, almost 300,000 research ticks, they got out.
What you guys think of that? Okay, I'm going to be playing election fraud updates from back in 2020, right after it happened, election news. Let's see how well this aged to it that I did back then. Kind of replaying these to archive them partially. Also have a look back at how bad they stole and got away with this. Watch this. This is me about 4.5 years ago. Hi, all patriots out there. Here, let me type this in, make sure it goes through to everything, make sure it's working. I was just going to review some videos and talk about the election and all that. There's some interesting news. I didn't know this, but I guess the House, I'll explain it better later, but in the House, if it does get to the House, Nancy Pelosi doesn't really rule over this because each state gets one vote. So California is only going to get one vote, not all each delegate. So, and Republicans remember, this is just after they stole it before it got to the House and the whole January 6th stuff. All right. Control of more see how well of the states than the Democrats after this election, especially. Let me type this in. I like to do that at the beginning. I have no guests tonight. I wasn't playing any because I was kind of impromptu a little earlier today. So went through to Facebook. It said it went through to Periscope, and then it said it didn't. Huh. We'll try it again. Second try. Let's see if that works. Does everyone remember almost 5 years ago? Okay. Sometimes it doesn't go through to Periscope, which is Twitter, and that. So I was going to play a few videos and kind of, show you what's going on. Later, a little bit later, I'll get to that where he explains about that thing. One of the biggest news, though, is about Real Clear Politics. Some say it never was up there, whatever. They've never called it, I guess. And some say they just took it down or changed it. Maybe it was kind of in that bluish gray area. I don't know. But here, I'll play this one. This one's kind of popular, actually. And then we'll go on with all the cheating they're doing and stuff like that. Here we go. Let me bring that up. Hide, share. Some of these will be marked private because they're scheduled to come out later.
Well, we're back again.
Let me know if you can hear it okay.
I played something recently for you, if you watched the other video, where my daughter came in and showed me how Siri was announcing that the...
Oh, this is a different one, but this is good too.
And Siri said Kamala Harris is 55. And continued, it was actually recorded. So Siri is letting you know this.
Remember, this is 2020.
These artificial intelligence programs, of course, they're done by
almost 5 years ago.
Globalists.
4.5 to 5
but they
years
reveal
ago.
Often so many sinister things that are in this collective intelligence of the programmers that are actually working with, in a sense, artificial intelligence to reveal what the devil's doing.
Chad, let me know what you thought about the peace deal signing today. I'm wondering if it's going to hold all that kind of stuff. What's everyone think? Is it the peace deal signing is going to hold or not? He's got all the pieces in place, but can you trust all the people he's dealing with? That's what I'm wondering about.
And if people understood that Trump was running against
Sorry about
Harris,
the dinging. It was my phone.
Because Biden has so many serious problems, not just his age, but
new
his,
messages received from Leslie THEIRRY.
Palpably got a
new messages received from Leslie THEIRRY.
And malfeasance that he's going to have to account for.
New messages received.
If you have a backlash from 70 million voters who are furious over having been ripped off and stolen from. But then the alternative is you have Harris in the wings. That's like trying to pick which Sith Lord you want to have to deal with in a Star Wars sequel. So
you always had to
we don't have to go that way because we still have
not realizing it was going out over there.
So let's talk about what's happening with the president and the battle and how there is a path to victory. Now I want to remind you guys something because we're kind of a wimpy generation.
Okay, you can see this on my channel. I'll play more of it later, maybe. So, I missed the one I was going to show you. Oh, I was going to show you some of the stealing here. Let me bring that one up. They're literally making out ballots right at the table. Now, some said, oh, they're reading them to it, but they're flipping pages or anything at the same time he's filling them out. And it's always the same. Always all Democrats right down the thing. So I'll show you some more. There's other worse ones. They aren't necessarily flipping at the same time, too, you know. So let me find it here. Did I go too far back? I might have. Hold on. Yeah, I did. I went one page back too far. Let's go back to the first one. All right. Here we go, I think. Yep. Back then, I was getting a lot of Facebook messages about the whole steal.
So I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty much over every other news media outlet, including Fox News. It seems to me that they've all sold out to these people, and we, you know what? We can't trust them anymore. We can't even trust Fox News anymore, which, I mean, at least we had them during the presidency and we, you know, for a while, but we can't trust them. This is Newsmax.
There's a lot leaving Fox News ratings. They dropped to third in ratings.
It's not letting me for some reason.
The whole reason with the Arizona call, really, they did it. Their decision desk is now run. The last two elections is now run by former Clintonite. You know, someone that was working for Clinton and donated to him, and it still did even this year. Here's an interesting one too. It's pretty short. So,
Joe Biden claims that he wants to be a healing leader for America. Well, if that's true, then he should not only be agreeing to careful audits of vote returns, he should be encouraging it. Why? Because tens of millions of Americans right now believe that the election is being stolen from them. And I don't believe this without justification. Let's first talk about the statistical improbability of Donald Trump losing, given all the other macro trends in the 2020 election. I'll get much more granular in future videos, but let's take a look at the macro trends. The GOP held 28 of 29 tight House races. It didn't lose one House race for the first time ever. The GOP picked up 3 state legislatures. Trump had the best minority percentage for any Republican in 60 years.
They didn't lose one state legislator either. They won some governorships and everything. So how did they lose the 2020 election?
And yet Trump loses? That is highly improbable to a lot of clear-thinking Americans. And it means that at the least, we owe them a very careful look at votes. Why? Also because of how close everything is. In these 4 states, Arizona, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, the vote totals as they stand right now are 0.67 or more narrow. So the idea that we should just go away, that the deplorables should be quiet, that we should accept the word of CNN and Fox News, no.
Gregory, I also sent you the one about the truck driver thing there that was sleeping and all that kind of stuff on the side of the road that was illegal.
And Joe Biden, if you want to be a healer, you should be encouraging a thorough review of all these results.
That one's pretty good. I haven't found my flip one yet. No, YouTube took this channel down that I had all these on. And I'm on I have a better one than the flip one. Oh, this is the plans if they win for us. This is what they plan for us here. I'll show you. The left.
Entertainment organization that has a news outlet would hire these people. I also want to echo something that my friend EJ said. It's not only that Trump has to lose, but that all his enablers have to lose.
All supporters.
We have to collectively, in essence, burn down the Republican Party. We have to level them, because if there are survivors, if there are people who weathered this storm, they will do it again. They will take this as confirmation that, hey, it just pays to ride the waves. Look at me. I've made it through. And so up and down the ticket, federal, state, local offices, the country has to repudiate this. This has become a dysfunctional anti-government party. That is not what the country wants and what it needs.
Yeah, anti-comrade. I'm going to play that one again.
Entertainment organization.
So their plan was to come after us as soon as they got power. In 2020, this was, and that's exactly what they did.
That has a news outlet would hire these people. I also want to echo something that my friend EJ said. It's not only that Trump has to lose, but that all his enablers have to lose. We have to collectively, in essence, burn down the Republican Party. We have to level them, because if there are survivors, if there are people who weather this storm, they will do it again. They will take this as confirmation that, hey, it just pays to ride the waves. Look at me, I've made it through. And so up and down the ticket, federal, state, local offices, the country has to repudiate this. This has become a dysfunctional anti-government party. That is not what the country wants and what it needs.
Yeah, they were coming after us. That was their game plan from the thing. Oh, sorry about it lagging there, Gregory. So I'm sorry about that. Maybe refresh the page.
That's what I would say. So
remember,
I stop sharing for a minute here.
I recorded this back in 2020, just after the election in November. So or October going into November.
Come back here. Yeah, I know what you think. Oh, there you are. Hi, Josie. Let me bring you up.
William, long time.
We don't know that yet. We'll find out. He might have, but definitely he needs to go to court to expose all this fraud, dead people voting, dogs and pets voting. I should play that one next, actually, the pet one, where her pet voted, and grandparents that died, and other family members and stuff like that. Yeah, they're in the hen house. In fact, they've gone down in ratings to they're third now. They've gone from number one.
Hey, William, you haven't been on in a while. What do you think about some of the provinces joining USA, like Alberta and Saskatchewan and all that kind of stuff, and connecting Alaska to the continent of the USA? What's your thoughts on that, William?
One way up there, number one, like more views than all the rest put together some nights, and stuff like that. I like Tucker Carlson, Hannity, and Laura, but their daytime and their news things, like I said earlier, the person at the decision desk deciding what to call this day is a former Clintonite. So, yeah, they have become like terrorist threatening. Yeah, I got more on that. I should play that in a little bit. God forbid if I ever wanted a fair election. No, and they're talking about, as soon as they get in power, they're going to make it nationwide, this mail-in stuff. What they've been doing is they've been going out there, and they'll go to these people and they'll say, I'd like to buy your ballot.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They wanted to make nationwide mail-in balloting only, not in-person voting. That's what the Democrats wanted. Luckily, we dodged that bullet.
You give you $300, I get your ballot, I'd fill it out and send it in, and there's no signature requirements, nothing, So it's ridiculous, is what I'm thinking. My thinking, and they'll win every election after this. It'll be a one-party rule, sort of like Mexico was for like 70 years or whatever it was.
75, actually.
So I'm going to share another one here in a second. There's one a little bit later that I'm going to share that shows the route of going through the House, taking it to the House eventually, keep it in contestant until then. I went too far here. Where's the one with the pet?
No, there it is. Okay,
I'm going to play this one.
That I had.
Hold on. I know some of them say private, but they don't release until tomorrow.
Okay, so I'm Gemma, as everybody on my group knows, and I was just shopping in a unknown hardware store, and I happened to run into the lovely, is it Alyssa?
Yeah,
Alyssa, and I happened to tell her my vote hasn't been counted. And what did you just tell me?
My dog voted in the 2020 election.
And how did you find this out?
I got an email that now won't open because the server is down, apparently. So now she has her microchip number as her social security. I went to the voting place, looked under her name and everything, told them her social security number. All of her vet records are gone now. And she had already voted.
And can you tell everybody a little bit about why your dog would be registered to vote? She is a service dog, correct?
She's registered service dog.
And someone voted for this dog somehow. They used the chip that was in the dog.
Through the Santa Cruz County Police Department and Cabrillo.
So now she's been labeled a human.
Yeah.
So her dog.
Because she's a student.
So her dog was because her dog is a service dog and was listed as a student at Cabrillo College, correct?
Yeah.
Her dog was listed as a human, registered to vote. So you called them, right? Or you contacted them that your dog got a voter registration, and they said, what did they say?
Yeah, I agree.
They said that she had already voted.
They have a lot of resources up there in Canada in those areas that especially the oil, but they got a lot of national ore and things like that it would be very profitable for the United States in the future, especially. And it would be a lot cheaper without having tariffs going either way on a lot of the stuff we buy both directions.
So your 2.5-year-old Labrador mix had already voted.
Yeah.
Who'd she vote for?
I am not sure.
She better vote for Trump.
I am really not sure who she voted
I guarantee
for,
it was
but,
the dog didn't vote for
It was
Trump.
listed as a mail-in. I had a little trouble finding her through the voter registration because I didn't know the birth date they gave her.
Oh my God. This is just...
So I had to look under Social Security.
And how old did they have it listed as?
She was just 18.
So she was listed as 18. What's her actual age in dog years?
She's in dog years.
So 2.5, right?
She's
Well,
about-
I don't mean dog years, but like if you took your dog to the vet and they asked you how old's your dog, how old would they say?
She was born 2017.
Okay, so she's
So yeah.
2.5 to 3 years old.
Now this dog, they'll keep voting for well after the dog passes away as well.
They have her registered as an 18-year-old college student at Cabrillo who voted. Maggie Magoo Vela, your dog voted.
Yeah.
So they registered your dog to vote.
Yeah. They voted too through mail.
So that my vote hasn't even been counted, and your dog
Been counted either.
and you're
California's
telling
already declared.
okay, so my vote hasn't been counted, your vote hasn't been counted, but your dog was able to vote and it's registered.
Yeah, hers went through.
This is awesome. Okay, so if this is not fraud, Maggie Magoo Vela, your dog's name is Maggie Vela, and she voted for President of the United States for the 2020 election between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Okay, well, I think that says it.
Now remember, YouTube took all these videos down talking about this stuff and what was happening.
I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for your time.
And they banned my channel on YouTube back then.
All right.
Okay, stop sharing. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Their dogs voted, but they can't get their own votes to count. And the thing, let me there's one out there that I wanted to play that I think it's pretty much banned from YouTube, I guess. This is the recordings, and they're going after Charlie Kirk for the recordings here of this. Let me pause this.
5 minutes, wow.
Okay.
I am seeing it if I refresh the page.
Okay, I gotta bring up Yard Stream.
See where we are on the 2022. Let me look at my.
Hold on, one thing first.
It's about a minute late. Tammy, it comes through about a minute after what you just said. Well, a little less than a minute, 45 seconds. This video is important. Watch this. The scheme in Detroit.
The chairperson can issue him what type of ballot? Provisional. A provisional envelope. Why?
This is important.
Where is it going? Not in the tabulator. It's going in that envelope, right? We have how many days? 6. So what is the Department of Elections going to do with it? Destroy it.
See, they're going to destroy some votes that they don't want voted in. Yeah, it's about 45 seconds, Gregory.
So basically, I guess I'm going to bring it back to that. Basically, what they're doing is throwing out any people coming in saying they didn't vote, because they mailed out to the whole state these ballots, but people were grabbing them and selling them and grabbing them and making them out for them. So they come in, the voters come in, and then they try to vote, and they challenge, if you vote in person.
The real votes, not not the ones that were stolen and taken and put in for them. Person, you can nullify the one that got mailed in. They didn't want that to happen. They know the ones that were mailed in were going to be for the Democrats, especially Biden. So, and James up there in Michigan as well. So what they would do is they put it in these other envelopes and stack them somewhere where they later on were going to destroy them. They weren't going to ever show them. So I'll go a little further. Ever count them.
Challengers and poll watchers. They have to wear a mask and they have to stay 6 feet. That's important because they can come behind your table. But if you don't have 6 feet, they can't come back there.
So they're making it so they can't see what they're doing.
Really good vision. Big neck, please. Exactly. Yes, they got really good vision. Or they brought their binoculars. 6 feet. That's the rule, right? And you are entitled to your 6 feet. Is that common? I mean, can we expect that? Yep, there's a coming. They're coming. I don't know if they're coming to every precinct, but they're coming to many of them in the city. Yes, we have already got word. The state has already said they're coming.
Tammy, that one's about 30
Basic
seconds.
thing they're going to challenge is what? Absentee ballot. That is correct.
The reason for challenging the absentee ones is because there's no chain of command. Who knows who had it? Who filled it out? There's no signature verification. In fact, in Pennsylvania, they said, oh, you can take them with no signatures, totally different signatures. They can write Freddie Flintstone on these ballots, and they're taking them.
They're challenging and they start yelling and kind of making a scene.
911. They got standards. They got conduct standards.
Okay.
They make a scene, get them up out of there. The police are.
6 feet back with a really good vision. Big neck, please.
Exactly. Yes, they got really good vision. Right? They binoculars.
Now I'm streaming this to YouTube also. We'll see if they give me another strike or ban me again for playing this stuff. Because they definitely did not want it on YouTube back then.
They make a scene, get them up out of there. The police are.
Here's the tabulator. You heard that Dominion got sold to a conservative. They're going to change it so there is a paper trail on all the votes. So what they're doing there is they're making sure that the Biden votes get run through that tabulator so they can't be challenged later. Make sure they get them in that machine, you know, even if they're under challenge, you know.
How do you challenge a ballot? You take the ballot, you write under the barcode 2003, and you cover it with what kind of tape? Post-it. The post-it tape. But this time, you're going to put it in a secrecy sleeve, and Mr. Starks is going to go vote as normal.
So we're going to count them.
So his ballot is going through what? The tabulator.
So basically, they're going to get to vote twice for the ones they want to vote twice.
Page 15. All right. Page 15 is an example of a new voter registration receipt. In Michigan, what can we do now as new voters? We can register to vote up and through election day. The computer system,
So anyone can walk in from any state and just register, really.
electronic poll book program is downloaded on Saturday before election day. It is not a live feed. So if someone registers on Sunday or Monday, they're not going to be in your computer, but they should have a receipt when they register. If they do not vote at the time they register, they give them a receipt to bring to the precinct. So Mr. Starks, he came in. You looked and you didn't find him. So you're gonna say, Mr. Stark, are you a registered voter in Michigan? Mr. Stark is gonna say, sure. I'm Iron Man. I flew in yesterday and I'm registered to vote. Right? Mr. Starks, did they give you a receipt? Hopefully he will have one. He would have either right up under here. The first type of receipt he might have is going to say process him as a challenged voter. Everybody highlight that. Then below that, it says note to election inspector. Highlight that because those are going to be the directions on how you process his ballot. The one down below says process him as a regular voter, a regular ballot. Highlight that. So there are two separate types.
So they're going to process them as a regular voter so they can get all these votes in. They definitely cheated.
The receipts. The first receipt is going to tell you to process him as a challenge voter. The second receipt will tell you to process him as a regular voter. They might have either one.
And so they can't uncount it later, basically. They want to cram all through as regular so they can get away with this. Now they sent out the left to all these different swing states to make sure they'd end up winning ahead of time. It was all planned ahead of time. The chat stop working? So they used the software to generate addresses for them to use. And they just drove into the state and voted. So people out of state were voting there.
We know that we have a lot of high school students as
hi, Colin.
And
Took a minute
if
to
you
pop
can't
up.
go to the receiving board because it's late at night, right? If you can't go, you need to tell your chairperson early in the day, hey, I can't do the receiving board. They will choose someone else to go with them.
You actually make up to $450 if you took this laptop to the receiving board. But I stress, this only can happen if your EPIs are a teenager. A lot of our EPIs are teenagers, in high school, and they can't stay at the receiving board until 2 or 3 in the morning. So, they'll need someone to drop his laptop off. Because on election day, you'll have numbers for troubleshooters like myself and different coordinators. But honestly speaking, it's going to be hard to get a hold of someone because it's going to be 10 people calling for a mishap at the same time.
They wanted to destroy the provisional ballots, the ones replacing the Biden ballots.
Absentee ballot what? Sent and received. Do not what? Do not issue him a ballot. Mr. Allen, we have received your ballot. Thank you very much.
They were trying to keep him from voting.
Would you like
Even if they said they never got one and got one back.
True.
See, these were sent. Some people in the post office were working for them.
Actually, Pat, I don't know that they do have open borders. They don't let anyone from hell has open borders. Yeah, that's true. I thought you meant heaven.
Whatever, or people going around grabbing them out of the mailboxes, whatever. They're taking these ballots and sending them back, and they were voting Biden. So now they're making it so that anyone walking in, they didn't want any chance of that Biden vote being changed, even if it was a Biden voter.
He's already voted. There's no reason for him to vote again. At all. Ever. That day. He's done.
You're supposed to be able to vote in person, and it would throw out your old ballot.
Loud, rude. That's not me. I didn't vote. I want to vote. And just acts of pure, right? What can you do? Your chairperson can issue him what type of ballot? A provisional envelope. Why? Where is it going? Not in the tabulator. It's going in that envelope, right? We have how many days? 6. So what is the Department of Elections going to do with it? Destroy it.
See, they weren't going to count any day of ballots that came in of people that wanted to vote because they already had in the system a bunch of votes pre-sent in, pre-registered, pre-counted, or pre-ready to be counted. They were cheating. This is 2020.
This is all planned way ahead of time. I'll get to the solutions later. Not really. There's some more videos like this. Okay. This was actually recorded before the election, actually.
So you might come in there and get a provisional ballot, and they were throwing those out. They already had the numbers they wanted.
Let me get out of this. So
Trump really
basically they had it all set up. Let me stop sharing. They had it all set up where they're going to disqualify as many Republican voters as absolutely possible and get as many Biden and Democrat voters in there. They were worried about James. James up there in Michigan's the senator, a person running for Senate who's black and conservative, and they don't like that narrative. So that kind of stuff. A lot of dead people too. I'll be getting to that. Josie Wales. Yeah, crazy Dems creating new normal. They've got plenty of grounds to sue on here. This state could be overturned on this kind of stuff. This is more, especially if this gets witnessed.
Not if you have judges already in on the fix.
We'll see. I hear Pelosi's going down. I don't know who's going to take her spot. And if Pelosi goes down, I don't know if she'll stay in the House if she's not Speaker. And their margins are real low. Actually, on election night, if everything had stayed exactly the same, besides Dems finding more votes, the Republicans would have taken over the House. But because there's like 28 seats up for grabs, and they need like 17. But they're, how they find votes on any closer election. Not even close, actually. So you guys did a great job coming out and everything. They're just cheated. We should have had the Senate, House, and presidency. Where's Captain America when you need a Civil War? With these Democrats, you got to wonder. I ought to show you a video of them. This is after they think they've won, and they're going after even Biden people still. So the art of the steal. Oh, they've been doing it for a long time. They know how this works because they've been doing it in California with the vote mining. Kim Young was ahead on election night by a Republican by 6.5 points. She went to orientation in Washington, D.C. was like 3.5, 4 weeks later. And they called her back because her election had been reversed. They supposedly found votes all over the place, thousands and thousands of votes. Oh, it's amazing they were all 100% Democrat, wasn't it? So let me see if I can find that one real quick. I think this is it. Hold on. Let me pull it up and then
I'll share it. Okay, I got it. Let me rewind it. Come back here, start sharing. Now this is after election night. They think Biden's won, and they're going into neighborhoods. And if you're not full on commie, they're after you. You know, it's a little short video. So, and where's it? Right here. Okay, let me enlarge it. This is what the commies were going after other people, even if they were Democrat, but they weren't commie enough. That's supposed to be a Biden sign supporter up there on the thing. Look at the older mother he's got with him. That's a white person screaming it. They're screaming at him white privilege, and it's a white person, liberal, screaming at him. Asking for people. You see in the yard, let me rewind that just slightly. There's a Biden-Harris sign in the yard. A supporter up there on the thing. Look at the older mother he's got with him. They're after anyone that wouldn't come out and march with them in the streets. If you wouldn't go out and march with them, even if you got a Biden-Harris sign, they came after you. That's a white person screaming it. You see the Biden sign in the yard? Right there. Asking for peaceful protest is white supremacy. So I had another video where they actually attack him and take his phone and all that. So stop sharing. I'll find the next one. But yeah, they've been going after that. Although there's some encouraging things. I'm saving toward the end on how this resolves. So just bear with me, okay? Let me see if I can find that now. Now YouTube took all these videos down. I mean, trying to find it. Hold on. Wish I could like line them up in a row, and it's not easy to do that. Here's just a little bit more cheating for you to examine. Yeah, it didn't stop. It's a little shorty. So share. There we go. You're supposed to be separating ballots.
I work at the vote bailouts, which means we get your votes and we separate them. So if some of these votes happen to say, like this one, Donald J. Dumb Trump, that one just don't make it towards the mail. As some of you guys know, I work.
See how he's working at the post office and doing that? So, this one actually is good about the election rules here. I should save that, actually. Now, he's talking about it too. Let's find that one. A little cheating going on. Tearing up ballots. I should bring up Tina 40. She's got this weekend. There's an event. I'm going to play it here about it. There's a little short one too. So hold on. Down in DC. I think I'm still sharing. Okay, let me enlarge this. And the link's in her video.
Hello, Patriots. Okay, so I put a link up on Twitter, Facebook. New York Stop the Steal, but it's not just for New York. It's all across the United States. If you feel that your voice was not heard on November 3rd, you're going to print out the letter that's attached to this site. You're going to sign it, and you're going to mail it, not email it, not fax it. You're going to mail it back to the White House. Because what is your country worth? What are your grandchildren worth? What are your children worth? What is this country worth? What is your freedom worth? Just to give you a little bit of the letter, it's right here. I will be passing them out in DC while I'm there this weekend. But it's about your vote and how we in America, we govern. We are not governed. And how our vote didn't count. and how they are cheating us on the left. So please click on the website, no matter what state you're in, fill it out, and let's take our country back. Okay? God bless.
Okay. That's not our usual closing. If you're the ones that have been watching. So I got to set the private. It's coming out tomorrow. Let me get that link so I can bring it up on the screen, actually. I saved the link for everyone, actually. Let me bring it up and show you the page. Hopefully it'll work. Sometimes it doesn't work because they block it or whatever. Okay, yeah, here it is. Protect the vote, audit the vote. And somewhere on here, there's a place. Oh, here's the letter you can print out. So it's a little short, like 3-paragraph thing. So, and you can sign it and mail it in to the president or to the White House. And I'm going to bring this up on my thing here. Stop sharing. Let me bring it up on the screen here. Yeah, the Republicans actually did really, really, really well. They give me time to write that down. They took House seats. They kept the Senate. If James' vote was real, they actually would have gained in the Senate, I believe, and a couple other spots. There's a couple other ones still up in the air. They still might win. The 2 Georgia ones too. They gained governorships. They gained state houses. They gained lower level in certain counties and stuff like that. Our turnout was good. It was massive, actually. Trump got the most votes a Republicans ever got. He even outdid Obama on his election and re-election. It's just that, Biden, they stuffed 9 million ballots into all the swing states. The other states that weren't swing states that they were trying to take didn't have this big ballot increase. It was in the states like Pennsylvania, Georgia, in Stacey Abrams down there worked that one, in Michigan, Wisconsin, in Arizona, Nevada, those areas. I mean, in Pennsylvania, for example, they had hundreds and hundreds of 90-year-olds suddenly registering. Basically, that was these 90-year-olds were all people that had died and they got their names off the things. So Maxine Waters is still there. Yeah, she's pretty shaky like Pelosi. When they're out of power, eventually they have a tendency to drop off. The Republicans. Oh, I'll show you. Yeah, Beverly, she's still in the hospital. I'll show you in a little bit. Actually, I downloaded that one. Actually, I have that on my hard drive. I'll show you a little bit of her thing. It's like an hour long. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. So, in fact, I can go there right now, actually. But what happens on the Republican side is they can only have the chairman so long. And then once they're in Congress and they've had a chairmanship so long and then they take them down from that position, they tend to quit. And the Democrats are there kind of for life because they're in power, So, and they're getting rich. I mean, Maxine Waters, all of them, they're worth millions at $200,000 a year somehow. That's amazing. So, all right, I'm going to start sharing. I'll show you a little bit of Beverly. Yeah, she got, maybe I should tell everyone in the background first before I ever played. She was in D.C. with her friends. They were going to celebrate Trump's win. It was kind of looking like he was going to win, actually. And they came out of the hotel or whatever they were in. And there was this older guy that was about to get attacked by 3 or 4 Black Lives Matter members. And she got in between them and then tried to stop it and this and that. And it turned into a kind of a hustle back and forth. And she got stabbed in the back 3 times. And the old guy got his throat slashed right here. So I could show you a little bit of that video too. I should. I'll play you a little bit of her in the hospital since you asked about that, Josie. All right, let me go find that. I know it's on my hard drive here, isn't it? Did I download it yet or not? I don't have it downloaded. All right, I'll have to go to her page. Hold on. Give me a minute. Oh, yeah, I got it right here. Let me play it. Okay, there we go. Saying it's having trouble playing it, but I'll do it again. Share sound because you won't be able to hear them all. Okay. Here's Beverly's thing. I'll refresh it for it page and do it. We'll see if we can get it to come up. There it is. It's Beverly Beebe. Come on. Oh, I got that one. Won't enlarge. Are you hearing it? Let me stop sharing, then I'll do it again. Oh, there it is. I can hear it now.
Or die. For real. I mean, real. Some of y'all called me. Talk some Beverly, where you at? We're coming to kidnap you. We're going to take you out of the hospital right now. Y'all was ready to come get me.
When they stabbed her, they hit her lung.
An update and everything that went on.
They had to drain her lung.
Let me just share
hit her
this
kidney or liver. Now this was Antifa that attacked her in D.C. when they were walking together on the streets. I might in one of the videos coming up, I might have that actual attack.
Page.
Was it kidney or
liver? Let me go live on the Grizam. Am I blocked? Shouldn't be. Hold on.
Then later they put her in jail for pro-life reasons, because she was pro-life at a pro-life protest.
Yeah.
She is a true patriot.
I'll put a title on there later.
I think she's got a while yet in recovery.
Y'all.
It's been a week.
When I say y'all are so loyal, bruh. Y'all, my fans are the realest. Let me put my heart monitor back in for my nurse. I'm in here tripping. First and foremost, before I get started with this live, I want to show y'all this. Let me flip my camera. I just want to show y'all how loyal y'all are. How much love y'all send my way. This is my room. Y'all have basically filled my room. I got some strawberries. Y'all have filled my room with flowers and balloons and just, you guys are amazing. Y'all are so full of love and consideration. Like, my fans are better than your fans. My fans are real fans.
This just came out 3 hours
real
ago.
Ones that ride with me.
6,529 comments.
Calling up to this hospital.
Nearly 70,000 views.
We will come and take you.
Now, for those who don't know her, she's the one that covered up. Let me stop sharing here. I'll be putting this up on my channel. She was the one that covered up the Black Lives Matter thing with paint, the mural in front of Trump Tower. She's the one that went and fought late at night and tore down a lot of the signs on the White House, outside the White House. Somehow they're trying to make Trump out of racist, and he's not even close. That kind of stuff. Yard of the Steel. I think I read that. Where was I at here? I saw that. How was all you did it? Yeah, she's doing better. She'll have a full recovery. The puncture lung was a little while healing, and they had to put a tube in it and drain it and all that. That just takes a while, So I guess the guy's doing okay. He got stitched up and he's okay. He lost a bit of blood. It's quite a bit of blood. He was bleeding pretty good. But she was doing it to save an older white guy, So race doesn't matter. It's the attitude of a person, really. To tell you the truth, to be honest. So, anyways, yeah. Let me come back over here. I'm gonna bring up another one. So I gotta close this. Hold on. All right. Do I want to get to that thing yet? Yeah. Oh, here's some Trump supporters. Let me bring this one up. Not accepting Biden. This one's actually pretty good, actually. I always make a lot of clicks there's like 5 things I gotta click to play it. All right, here we go.
Reject the president-elect. We reject the president-elect. We
What they're screaming is we reject the president-elect. I'm not sure where this is, to tell you the truth. I don't see him burning or trashing anything, so. Anyway, so let me stop sharing, come back. All right, let me find the next one. So, anyways, wish I could find that. What was this one? I haven't put it up yet. I thought I did. Maybe I have not. Almost there. Hold on. All right, I'm going to look at my folder. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. This is good. This one's good. Now, this will tell you how this is probably going to end up working out. He's got to get a state or two disqualified or win them, like Michigan, Wisconsin. It kind of looks like Arizona's going to come back and oh, I forgot to tell you about Georgia. Don't get excited when the Republican election person in Georgia okays the vote. He's doing it intentionally because there's this type of suit that the Republicans want to bring. They have to do after he's certified the election. And after he certifies the election, they want him to do that actually. All right. So he's going to certify his election. I'm going to show you the plan in the future if they can say that there's not many remedies for a judge. You can't figure out who voted what and all this and that if it's a total mess. So what they're trying to do then is get it so that they throw it out either for a revote, which in a short period of time, they wouldn't have a month to buy all these ballots and get them all in and all that kind of stuff. Or say they had a week for a revote in the state or something, or get the election of that state thrown out so it didn't count. So then it would go to the House and neither one got to 270. So in the House, you would think, this guy can explain it better. In the House, you would think that the Democrats control and they'd win, but every state gets one vote. So your delegation of your state, if it's mostly Democrats, are going to say, let's vote for Biden. If it's mostly Republicans, which is in most of the states, they would say vote for Trump, probably, unless we got a bunch of rhinos or paid off. What they're going to try to do between now and then is try to put so much pressure on these Republicans to get Trump to concede. And so far, not too many are trying to force him. You got Romney, of course. So let me play this. I just seen it too. Dang it. Where did I see it? It was in here, actually. Okay, I got it. All right, here we go. I might fast forward the first part because it's just...
Okay, everybody. What happens if President Donald Trump does not concede the election? I talked about it in a previous video, but I'm gonna cut right to the chase. It's happened 2 times in history. It happened in 1800. It's happened in 1824. And if you'll remember, Hillary Clinton told Joe Biden not to concede. You remember that? Before this election, she told him, do not concede. You know why she told him that? I hate to say it, smart woman. She knows the law. But most Americans don't. Most of you watching me don't know it. I didn't know it. But now I do, and knowledge is power. And I promise you, Donald Trump knows what I'm fixing to tell you. So do all of his lawyers. Okay, so here's what happens. Real simple. The most powerful thing that keeps the peace in the United States of America is not required by law. It's just a custom. And it's called a concession speech. We've been doing it for a long time, but there's no law that requires a concession speech. However, it does aid in the peaceful transfer of power. So normally when a presidential candidate is in a fight for the presidency, it's a powerful position. It's like a throne, a king fighting for his throne.
Yeah,
he has supporters. And those supporters are literally ready to fight, if you will, for their guy. And that's just the way it works, folks. It's been that way since the dawn of time. At the moment of the concession speech is when those people that support this guy are pretty much given the green light to simmer down, go back home. It's all over. It's a surrender. It's a white flag of surrender. But it is not required in the Constitution. It's simply a custom. It's a wonderful custom. Once a president concedes, the battle is over. There's no more legal fighting. There's nothing. Everything after that just sort of happens with a rubber stamp. Then the electors get together. They cast their votes in Washington, D.C. The president is officially elected and the votes are certified. And that certification gives that man the presidency. But more importantly, his concession speech from the opponent is what gives him legitimacy and a transfer without drama. But 2 times in our history, presidents did not concede the election. Why? Well, not because they were trying to be rambunctious, but just like Al Gore, they knew that something was off and they were not ready to give up a fight with a margin less than 1% in all the battleground states. According to the law, Georgia is going to be recounted. We do not have any official result anywhere in the nation. Pennsylvania is going to be recounted. Arizona is still being counted. Nevada is going to be recounted. We have a total recount coming. Now, after that recount, the president has legal options to go to court to prove irregularity. So let's just say that none of that works and the president still will not concede the election. The Constitution, Amendment 12 of the United States Constitution gives you the answer of what will happen. If they cannot rule on it in the court and he does not concede, and there's no certification of an undisputable majority, then we go to the House of Representatives. When we get to the House of Representatives, there are 475 members of that House. The election is null and void at that point. It's like it never happened. The numbers do not matter any longer. This has happened twice in history. I got a feeling it's fixing to happen again. At that moment, the election becomes obsolete, and now the president will be elected by the Congress, the House of Representatives. Now, immediately, that strikes fear in the heart of a conservative, because guess who controls the House? The Democrats. But not so fast. The Constitution goes on to say in that article that each state in the Congress gets one vote, not each representative. Each state gets one vote for the president. Well, there are 50 states in the House. Of those 50, 37 are Republican. At that moment, a Republican Congress will officially, constitutionally vote in the next president. Why do you think Donald Trump has not conceded? He knows these things that I'm telling you. He understands that there was illegitimate votes cast. He understands that votes are still going on. Now, he may get tired of the fight. I don't know. I don't think he is, though. But he does have a constitutional remedy to his dilemma. This is going to be interesting to watch. But remember, Hillary Clinton told Joe Biden, do not concede no matter what. And why did she tell him that? Because she knows what I'm telling you. And so Joe Biden has won a few battleground states with less than 1%. Those are automatic recounts. We will not have a winner till we have a certification. If we can't get a certification that's not contested in the courts, it will go to the House of Representatives just before Inauguration Day. Now you might know why the Panther is getting real quiet in the background, waiting for the attack. I'm not saying that's how it's going to go, but the Constitution foresaw this. The Constitution made a way for an illegitimate election to be overturned in the House of Representatives. So class is dismissed, and now you know the truth.
I'm going to try to bring up my Facebook page here. It might take a second. Let me see. some people have commented on there. And Chris, about the Trump being remarried, I think it's pretty relevant. A lot of people that get remarried in America, the divorce rate being real high, like Chris was commenting on that, is because the same people are getting married and divorced several times. That's why that percentage is real high. Actually, if you take a person once they're divorced and don't count them again, it's about 40%. But the percentage is way over 50 because the same people are getting divorced and remarried again. Ron had a good one here. I hope you have a few minutes. Almost 4 million jobs created since the election, 2016 he's talking about. More Americans are employed than ever recorded in our history, which is true. We have over 400,000 manufacturing jobs since my election. It must have copied what Trump wrote. Manufacturing jobs are growing at the fastest rate in more than 3 decades. Economic last quarter hit 4.2%. New unemployment claims hit a 49-year low. This is probably something just before the virus hit. Median household income has hit the highest level recorded. Yeah, it was going up even for African Americans, especially there, and that's why he got the highest. Trump got the highest African American vote since the '60s, since the plantation voting in 1960, where they did welfare. Well, that was the last president, 64. By 64, Lyndon B. Johnson got the, we're going to have the N-words voting for us for 200 years. So that's what he was doing. So Asian American unemployment achieved the lowest rate ever recorded. Well, that was the same for blacks. Same thing for Hispanics. Every ethnic group, I think white males are the only ones that didn't hit the lowest ever, but they were doing very well too. Women unemployment received the lowest rate in 65 years. Okay, so that would take you back to the 50s, a little bit after the World War II. They were still working there. Youth unemployment has recently hit the lowest rate in nearly a half century. Yeah, that's true, Ron. Lowest unemployment rate ever recorded for Americans without a high school diploma, which is very good because the dropout rate, because of the plantation thing going on, is I should close that if you want. Jeez. Stay down there. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, a lot of blacks, because of plantation welfare, no fathers in the home thing. 60% of them drop out, black males, out of high school. And it doesn't help your job prospects. They talk about systematic racism. That's the system. It's creating fatherless families. In fact, BLM and Antifa want to end the family unit. They want to ruin it. So that's their goal. So the government brings up the kids and brainwashes them, re-education camps for us. If they take over, that's what they want to do. I don't think they can do it all in one swoop. I mean, probably the first year Biden's going to be good because there'll still be once the Trump thing, the taxes won't go into effect until the following year. And then 2, everything will probably start opening up again. Wow, the virus went to. You've seen the videos of a bunch of them out there celebrating this and that. Funny the media wasn't mentioning about super spreaders and all that crap, And then where was I? Lowest unemployment rate of Americans with a high school diploma. Okay, under the administration, veterans unemployment reached its lowest rate in nearly 20 years. So that'd be around 2000. Yeah, almost 3.9 Americans have been lifted off food stamps. It was a bummer there that put them on it since the election. If he had 8 years, he would have really done really well for sure. We got to get him back in. If he gets back in, though, this is going to be hell. The pledge to America's workers has resulted in employers committing to train and more than 4 million Americans. So they're committed to training the workers. We have committed to trades education. 95% of U.S. manufacturers are optimistic about the future, the highest ever. Retail sales surged last month, up 6% over last year. That's actually high in 1 year. You know, if you have a 6% thing for the whole administration, it'd be pretty good. In 1 year, it's crazy high. So, man, these things keep popping up. I can't see them right now. I can't see them. As a result of the tax bill, small business and regulation, that's a big part of it too. We'll have the lowest top marginal tax rate in more than 80 years. And the thing is about these tax rates going down, actually the economic growth, they bring in more money than they would have done with the high taxes. The government brings in more money because of the growth. Productivity is wealth. The more the country produces, the wealthier it gets. So say you take 2% of $5 million rather than 2% of 5 or 20% of $5,000, you're making actually more. You know what I'm saying? So helping the U.S. Win the bid for the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. They have it back here. That's economic boom. I know they usually have to build a lot of things, but LA will have a lot of coliseums and stuff, so it won't be as bad as some countries that have to put like billions into building up the facilities for them to use. Help the U.S., Canada.
No, because Trump didn't go in.
Bid for the 2026 World Cup. So the World Cup's coming to America. That's a good thing. And the host teams tend to do better. It's usually
Kurt, why won't you ever remarry? I'm married for 40, well, been together 45 years. Married 45, been together 47 years.
The crowd and it influences the refs a little, and that kind of stuff. And they get pumped up and, you know, I want to play here in America for the World Cup, you know. A lot of people that maybe would have retired stay in there, that kind of stuff. Record number of regulations eliminated, that's for sure. That's the biggest thing, even more so than the unemployment. The reason why they want regulations to them is because the lawyers union gives them a lot of money and they want grounds to sue on and, you know, rules that are almost impossible to follow. So if anything happens, they can find a way to make money off of these companies.
If they want to go after the
and we're paying for it, really, and our insurance is being higher. You know, insurance should be
you got to play to play.
About half of what it is or it was. And where was I? Enacted regulatory relief for common banks and credit unions. That's good, as long as there's no crooks in there. You know, I don't know what the relief was, but that has been an issue. The other thing he needs to do, and it's been really hard to get through Congress because there's payoffs, is health insurance, selling over state lines. There's monopolies in certain states, and they won't let other companies come in because they pay off, you know, people and the legislators in each state and stuff like that. They should make it a national rule. You can sell it in every state, you know, like a minimum plan that maybe the government would say, oh, you have to have this minimum plan. Then you can have plans above that if you want. Obamacare individual man penalty is gone. That's a big thing. In fact, today, I don't know if anyone's heard, the Supreme Court was hearing cases about the Obamacare, about a rule in it, not to eliminate the whole thing. But you keep chipping away at it, and pretty eventually it's gone. Hardly anyone's on the damn thing anyway. So, you know, it's not doing much good, really. So my administration is proving more affordable healthcare options for Americans. Prescription drugs, he's done real good on that, getting people out of jail that shouldn't have been there, you know, throughout the Association of Healthcare Plans and a short-term duration. Last month, the FDA approved more than affordable generic drugs. That's good, getting them approved quicker. You know, the years they have to go through to get them approved is part of the expense, you know. It should be quicker going through. Thanks to my efforts. Okay, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Secured $6 billion new funding for flying. You know, the vaccine coming out. I'll give it a sort of like the mask. You give some people peace of mind. To me, I don't believe in them and all that kind of stuff. We're a natural gas explorer since 1957. Now, secured more than $700 billion in the military budget fundings, and $716 billion next year. You know, a good offense is the best defense. So if you have a good offense, people don't do anything to you. NATO, he made them kick up $69 billion toward that we weren't paying. A lot of good stuff here. That's on my Facebook page here. A great long comment. And about the divorces, him getting divorces, not really a big deal. So, anyways, all right, let me bring it back to here. I don't know what you thought of the other thing about going to the house and all that kind of stuff, communism. Yeah, we want to get away from that. I don't know. Yeah. Andrew Jackson, 1824. That was the first Democrat elected. It was as president. Andrew Jackson was. And we all know about the Tale of Tears. He had a big part in slavery increasing throughout the southern states and a little bit into the north. Yeah, okay. Well, there was some good, but he was racist. Andrew Jackson was a racist. No doubt about it. He hated blacks and Indians. So. Yeah. Well, now there's some people born way back then. Kurt, you know what it says in my phone? It says Gloria DeBoss. If they handle the finances, they like that. If I can find the videos, let me see if I can get there and find the videos about when they were born. I might have that actually. Let me see. Give me a second. I might be up further. Here we go. Let me bring it up. It's a short video, but about someone born in that. Oh, this is a guy. I think I showed this one. Maybe I didn't. I'll show it again just in case. I might not have shown this one. This isn't the other thing I thought it was, but this is how you stuff ballots. And this is with the mail-in crap. So, no, I didn't show this one.
All right, October 28th, 2020. I just got 11 ballots in the mail to people that I later found out are no longer alive. I'm sure they would have voted for Joe Biden. Let's go.
This is how they did it.
All in a day's work, baby. Democrats 2020.
So that kind of stuff's been going on. I don't know what you think of it, but that's what they were doing. They were finding out who had died, and they changed where the mail-in ballots were being mailed to. Then they were filling them out. That's what they were doing back in 2020. They're still doing it, I'm sure. A fair election? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, damn. It takes me forever. Because I have so many videos, and I forgot when I brought them up. Okay, here's one. This one's pretty good about dead people voting. Let me bring it up. Now, if they don't have enough proof, this is ridiculous.
All right, my name is Timothy Smith, and I'm just making a quick.
A little bit.
I want to be able to do, and I don't want to look my kids in the eye and say I did nothing. So I have some evidence of voter fraud in the state of Michigan, and I'm sure it's there. It's in other places. This example will be Detroit. I would also look into Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, and other places. Because of the China virus, I believe that there are hundreds of thousands of fraudulent mail-in votes because they knew they could use the virus as an excuse why everybody's voting by mail. But I believe a lot of these people are dead or the ballots were fake and were generated. And I want it investigated. Whoever wins free and fair is fine. But I just want to make sure that this thing isn't stolen from American patriots like me who voted and deserve our vote to count and not to be disenfranchised by illegal or dead people's votes. Pray for me. I'm getting ready to show you. All right, here we go. This is the Michigan Secretary of State website, and this is not some conspiracy theory. This is official information on the Michigan Secretary of State website. I'm about to search for a voter. I'm just going to show you one example. It can be investigated from there in other states like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. But here we go. William Bradley, March. He was born in 1902, so he'd be 118 years old. Zip code 48207, which is in Detroit. I'm going to search for him. Here we go. Here's his polling location. You can see this person, his mailing address was 2978 West Grand Boulevard, Detroit, Michigan. And over here, if you can get this for me, absentee ballot for this election, November the 3rd. He requested or he received his ballot on
gotta be really
September
sure
11th.
when you go to get
He sent it
married,
in on
that's all.
September 19th. The ballot was received and counted on October the 2nd. Remember, this gentleman was born in 1902, so he would have to be 118 years old. But check this out. We can go over here to the Social Security Death Index. Same gentleman. It's not a different gentleman. William Bradley, born 1902, Detroit, Michigan. Here we go. Search him. Boom. He was born in 1902 and he died in 1984. This is him. It's from, you can see over there was the official Michigan Secretary of State website. This is the same William Bradley. It can be verified through the Secretary of State and through Social Security Death Index. It's not a conspiracy, and I'm sure if there's him, there's hundreds of thousands in Detroit, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. All I'm asking is that if you see this video, share it with whoever you want to, email it, text it, get it into the right people's hands. I'm going to be submitting it to the Department of Justice, FBI, White House, Secretary of State's news outlets. Once again, my name's Timothy Smith. I'll have my email and a phone number when I send it out, and you contact me. I'll answer any questions, and I'll point you in other directions. This is just one example. Thank you. I love you. God bless America, and just continue to pray, and let's not let this thing get stolen.
Okay. John and Kurt, were you able to have contact with your kids after the custody battles and that? Some of these women, when you get divorced, and guys sometimes, are very vindictive and won't let you see them. Basically, I think they have plenty of grounds. You know, I just got sent in something, so I got to get back there. Let me. Yeah, the arrest haven't started. Arrest. Let's see. It's just so much on our plate, Kurt and John. It's ridiculous. It's just so much, and it'd be so hard to you got to start somewhere though, and one by one go after them. About the Michigan. Let's see if I can find it here. Remember, I recorded this. I did this live back then. I'm sorry. Oh, here it is. 2020. Okay. I'll have it up in a second. What that is yet, but this is one's important. Let me start sharing here. Share screen. I don't need the sound. Okay. Right here, breaking news. Michigan Judge Kenny orders hand recount by independent commission in the state of Michigan following hard evidence of voter fraud by Detroit City Election Commission. Buckle up, folks. This is came out less than an hour ago. From Biden's people had all their people in the row, though. They had judges that were blocking this stuff. Buffy Queen, Justice for General, in Twitter. So let me go back. I think there's another one I want to bring up out of this message. Let me look down. I think I see everything. Look, see what this is, just in case. Come on. Taking a second to come up. If more Paul Walker fans knew this. November 3rd, 2013, his car was hit by a tree, caught on fire. The video, however, looks more like an explosion. He was set to come forward exposing Hillary Clinton. Hopefully, John, it made you a stronger person. Foundation crimes against children in Haiti. He discovered this through his charity work. Rest in peace. Well, yeah, I don't. If you know stuff on the Clintons or Bidens or Obama, any of them, you know, it's not safe. I would say, I would say it's not very safe for you. A lot of them have died. Let me get back here and check a few comments, see if we've got many more. Communism, yeah. So, no, I'm wrong. He was president in 1829. Yeah, he was elected in 1828, I believe. You're talking about Andrew Jackson, I believe. I had a few things on my Facebook. Let me go find them, and I'll be right back. Oh, yeah. Look at this. I wanted to show this. Actually, I could just keep scrolling down my page. Back then, I had so much information coming at me. It was crazy. This was interesting. Now, in California, they thought they were going to win this California 21 seat. and they got counting votes, and the Republican went ahead. Whoops, they said, and we're going to stop counting for a day or two. What they're going to do is stuff the ballot. That's what they're basically going to find a way to sneak in votes. David, in 21st district, I would think that's down kind of heading toward San Diego area, but I'm not sure. Vallejo against T.C. Cox, not the Cox that was the Republican that ran. That's a different one. So, yeah, they stop the race when they aren't winning, so they can get. That's what everyone noticed that on the election night. You know that they stopped the vote all at the same time when they seen they were going to lose. And then Pennsylvania supposedly had less votes to count left than he was behind by, and somehow they came up with it. There's a Washington Times interesting article here. Judicial Watch finds more than 1.8 million ghost voters in 29 states. Dirty of elections it was talking about. So, in 352 counties in 29 states. I'm sure there's more than that. That's just what they found. And a lot of them, not Alaska, but a lot of the other ones were kind of swing states. They tried to stuff the ballot a bit in Maine and Maryland, but didn't do any good. I know they went against Kim Classic that are big time. So let's see. Next topic. All right. I just want to see. Yeah, Trump did get more votes since 1960 of blacks and Latinos. That's a record. So a lot of these people voting, who the hell are they? You know,
a little bit
is what I'm thinking.
Colin.
So
I don't know how bad on your end.
Oh, this was a little interesting. I think I shared. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. All right, right here. There we go. This is Democratic headquarters the night after the election.
Maybe it's because
Antifa
where you're
did
at,
this.
Colin. Maybe being in England, it's causing it a little bit.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You broke in here too.
I'm sure they're leasing, so it's the owner that's out on this thing. Mostly they lease these places. They don't use them all 4 years. So, anyways, no views because it's private still. Yeah, so anyways, stop sharing. I'm going to bring it back to my page. All right. There's a thing out for signing for the election. Oh, here's an interesting one. Let me share this. I don't know if you can see this, but online mail-in verified. General election for the 2020 application was sent 10/7/02. That would be September 7th. It was processed. The application was just processed the same day. Ballot was mailed on the 10th and got back on the 30th. Vote recorded. This is in Philadelphia, right? This guy's birthday, does it have a name on it? It doesn't. This guy's birthday was 11/17/1894. So that makes him 126 years old. 126. The oldest person ever recorded alive, I think, is like 122. So that's sort of like California. They have like 120,000 dead people voting, and they can't get them off the list. These are people wanted everyone to change their icons to these. I use that as the thing. You know, and Trump, to pray for Trump today. So I don't know.
Is it just chat that's lagging, or is the video itself lagging? Can everyone see and hear it okay?
The election thing's going to go, for example. But here's the current map. I'll bring that up, of real clear politics, of electoral map. And I think a couple of these states that are colored in blue could change. Right now, they claim he's got 159 to Trump's 118. And they still haven't awarded Alaska, although he's up 2-1 there. So I think he's going to get Alaska for sure. Pretty sure he's going to get Arizona. Georgia's probably a coin flip because of the two.
See where we were at that time? They stole this one. They didn't steal North Carolina, but they got Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania.
And North Carolina's definitely got. They just haven't called it. So it'll all come down to Pennsylvania, Michigan, or Wisconsin. And these are the harder ones. But either he gets enough thrown out in each or any of these. Wisconsin's actually closer than this one, but there's less vote to play with. Or
this is where they were counting votes for like 5-6 days after the election.
He gets it to go to the Supreme Court where they throw out the election of that state, then it ends up going to the House or something like that. Or they do a revote. There's avenues, you know?
And as you remember, Fox News called Arizona for Biden that night, too.
So there's avenues. I wonder if it has here where we can see the actual votes of the ones that are in gray. I can't click on them. It won't let me. I should show you the House race results.
Yeah, I always do mine off the computer. I don't have it on my phone. I think it works a bit better.
Let's see if I can bring it up. I know a lot of them are ahead. Taking a second. I think there was 20 out of 29 close races they won. So, all right, down here. Hold some of the votes not all in. Some of these ones that say 0%, there wasn't an opponent. That's why it says 0.
California, they take months to count.
Let me see if I can find some here. Hold the pickups. There's a pickup there.
Colin, it turned out that there were some people voting that were born 200 before the country started, or were born before the country start of America. So 200 and some years old. There's some over 300 years old.
Pick up there.
They're registered.
I should start at the top and count them, actually. They held every seat. Republicans held every seat that they had an incumbent. So there's one pickup right there. 2, 3. One Dem pickup right there. I guess it was a Democratic area though. Georgia District 7, 99% in. But that wasn't an incumbent there. That was an open seat, you know. There's a pickup. I forgot, I lost count. I think I'm about 5 or 6. Here's a runoff. I think you have to have 50% in like Louisiana, Georgia, and a few of the other ones. It looks like it's 2 Republicans still there, and they're going to have to run off with each other. Top 2 are Republicans. I don't really care for that. They do that out in California. What happens is, say there's 2 Democrats in a district running. Looks like they're updating it. Say there's 2 Democrats, they make the finals, which happens in a lot of areas. Republicans don't bother to turn out in that area. Then I heard some down ballot and up ballot for it. I'll pick up right here. Michigan, 7, 8, 9. They need, I think, 17. 9, 10, 11. Although a lot of these other places are showing like 5 or 6 Republican pickups because they won't call these stupid things. When he's up 50 to 49 with 100% in, I mean 50.6 to 49.6, they won't call the damn thing. Democrats expect to have someone drops off some ballots for them somewhere. Yeah, that's another point. The voting
in some of these areas and states is 100 and something percent, you know, over 100%. Where was someplace I seen somewhere, maybe it's on my page, 186% or something like that. Oh, here's some facts for you. I think I'm still sharing. Yeah. Okay. These are some of the people who voted in PA. 840 were 101 years or older. That might be possible, but difficult. Even to go back out and vote. 39 lived through the Civil War. So, or older, 101 and older. Okay, so the Civil War ones had to have been before 1860. I don't think so. 45 were born in the 1800s. So that's pretty high number. It's you can't tell me.
And you can't tell me they weren't cheating.
That's a thing. That's the one where
you can never convince me of that.
Yeah, right here. Here's an article about the Nevada.
Does everyone remember how it was back then? And they were shadow banning all this stuff, taking us down, banning our YouTube and Facebook. I lost them both back then.
They had some with no signatures on them all, and they were still processing the ballots. And they were.
That's why they needed January 7th or 6th. Was it 6th? Yeah, January 6th to cause all that stuff, to cause the country go against anyone that stood up against the election steal, because that would have been litigated out for a long time after that without that.
Trying to keep Republicans far away. You know, some of them were like 100 feet and stuff like that. Let's see what this one.
So they could steal. Doesn't seem to be playing. Let me see. I used to drink a lot of tea back then. Didn't sleep much. It's not coming up. But what does everyone remember back then? There it goes. I don't think I was getting sound and didn't realize it.
Okay. So you hear what's going on? I think there's another tweet down here somewhere. Huh? Okay. This is from the Nevada GOP. Austin Kay requested an absentee ballot. He confirmed it was mailed, but never received it. Followed it up online. He found that his ballot had been voted. That happens a lot. Someone else must have got my ballot and voted for me. Unfortunately, this is not the first or last report of this. Let's see if there's anything else good here. Not so much. Okay. Go back to my page. I know I stuffed a bunch of stuff here. You've seen how during the election night they took 19,000 votes away from Trump, 19 something, almost 20,000 votes away from him, and put it in Biden. Within seconds, it just slipped. That kind of stuff. So here's where we were a day ago in Arizona. He was down by less or just about 15,000 votes. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, you're right.
I guess there was people coming in
calling about Pence. I totally think the fix was in with him. They got into him or whatever, or he flipped or whatever. I swear, because he could have caused us to look into it. They probably didn't want all that dirt dug up on people. I bet you they have something on Pence.
State and stuff voting there. And then there was a lot of stuffing and stuff like that.
Maybe they promised Pence he'd be the next Republican to be nominated. Maybe they promised him that. Maybe he thought he'd be a hero or something.
I wonder if I should play it. Ruining Facts. That's a funny one. This is Latinos for Trump. This is what they did to Latinos for Trump's.
We do need to get more involved on the voting process. You know, the leftists do it automatically.
Office. I don't think there's any sound with this actually.
Of counting the vote.
I can't read it backwards. It might be in Spanish actually. I don't know. That's not nice. Actually, more was done later. I'm trying to come off of that. That's Spanish. Let's see this about practice. All right, let's see what.
Tina Peters is still in jail because of the election with Arizona in the 2020 election, all stemming from that. Sometimes I didn't have the sound working. I didn't realize it. Hopefully you can read that. I was hearing it on my end, but it wasn't sending it out. I was managing a lot of tabs at the same time. Oh, he was one of your senators in PA, Tammy? Was he a senator in PA or in Arizona? Oh, he was in PA and he went okay. PA senator. Okay, I got you. I understand. So sorry, I didn't have sound there. I didn't realize it at the time. I don't have well, I do have a fast forward a little bit. Skip 30 seconds. Let me go another 30. And this was a report. I didn't realize it wasn't playing at the time. It was Newsmax. That was the only one that really was going after the Dominion stuff and all that back then too. They were cheating on every way they could cheat, every single way.
Telling the postal workers to backdate them.
Yeah, they backdated some of the postal stamps on them. You know, they stamped stuff that was coming in late, and
it's ridiculous.
So they could count those votes.
Trying to come out of this.
Anything and everything they did.
Okay, I think I've seen. I got to show you this.
I think this aged fairly well.
I guess this is a tweet I'm bringing up from an NBC host. It's been a terrible day for the Dems in uncalled House races. Cal 21 still ahead by 4,000 votes. Valadudo, I can't say his name. Garcia in Cal 25 retakes the lead by 159 votes. That's why they're stalling on the votes, is so they can stuff ballots. Also in California, Kim R. I hope that's Kim Young. His lead is up to 4,160 votes. Maybe Newsom shouldn't have locked down so hard on people, huh? Iowa.
I bet you every one of those races, the Democrats found a way to win it.
Miller Meeks, a Republican, now ahead by 40 votes. Utah, Owens, Republican, lead up to 1,780 votes. I think they're going to pick these seats up. So they're getting really close to a 50-50. Could get really close to a 50-50 House.
Kurt, that's the only way they can win is by cheating. Right now, they don't have it on the issue.
Great to have her unseated. Then they would definitely kick her out if that was the case. You know, that would be another block for Biden and commies, you know. And hopefully, you know, we can take a better sweep later on. So, in any case, let me see if I got anything else. Well, this is about the COVID things. I might as well bring that up quick. Friendly reminder, survival rate. If you're under 19, your survival rate is 99.997% if you catch it, this is. So, I liked that before that thing came down. 20 to 49 years, 99.98%. All right, 50 to 69, 99.5%. The only time it starts to get something like around 5% is 70 or over. Now, you remember some of these are with people with other conditions here in this other percent. So, pretty much.
No, some of these is 70 and over. Some of these people are over 100 too. And they died and they blamed it on COVID.
You have to be either ill or old, really, you know, like heart things or a lung or high blood pressure or sugar. Those things are bad.
Now, if you look at the bottom, the death rates, after I get my thing out of the way, you'll see the death rate actually went down because we weren't doing as much. Our death rate went down during the China virus.
So annual deaths in the United States, like 2,800,018, and so on, going down. This is by the flu, I think. I didn't get it big enough. I'm going to try and shrink in that. No, there's no bottom line under that. Okay. Must be all deaths. Really 3 million a year. So, well, I'm going to end this soon. Wish I could have found. Let me give me one more chance to find that other video I was hoping to. Yeah, election update's kind of long. I'll play that on the next one I do. But you see that if it does go to the House, we got a shot. So, and we also got, the Supreme Court's probably on our side. So we got to keep fighting. We can't abandon Trump. We can't abandon him. Let me stop sharing while I'm looking. There we go. Trump. Oh, this one's good. I'm going to play this just before I go. This is short. Hold on. This one's good. I don't know if I got anyone left listening in here, but we'll end with this. This one's good. Where is it here?
If I give you one message to hold in your hearts today, it's this. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation.
Hey, Leslie.
Relish the opportunity to be an outsider, because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. You must keep pushing forward.
That's good. That's real good. And so I don't think I see anything else. That's a good one to end on. Thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully you see it a lot more in the replay. Stop sharing that. Goodbye. I didn't see any more comments. I don't know if there's any over on Facebook. I'll take a quick look over here. It doesn't come up on the things, and these other things pop up and get in the way, and I can't see it. I don't think so. Let's thread of that. These are things I'm working on. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Nice to having you on. I'm going to try to get a few guests in the near future. This is my 7 channel. If it disappears, look for 8, 9, 10, 1,000.
Well, up until the time Biden was sworn in, I got up to 23 channels they took totally. Here, let me remove this. So you can see me fat self better. Okay, tomorrow I might be. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on or not. If I am, it'll be like 5 or 6 p.m. something like that. And I might have a guest lined up. I'm not sure. We'll see. Actually, from Germany on what's going on over there. All right. Take care, everyone. God bless. Watch for Rebel Chicks next, and then Country Conservative after that. All right. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.